Sagittarius, welcome to Moonbeam's Messages. This is your collective finance reading. Now, as this is a collective reading, not everything will resonate, so please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If you don't find any messages in this for yourself, then please check your other placements where you are likely to find a message in there. Now, I am not a financial advisor. This is simply a message from Spirit with some advice on how you could possibly improve a current financial situation. If you do want proper financial advice, please go and seek that from a professional. I am not going to be telling you what to invest into. You do whatever you want with your money. And this is just a message from Spirit. What could be going on? A little bit of advice, what kind of challenges are coming up, things like that. So let's get into it. Can we get some cards for Sagittarius for this financial situation that we want to discuss? What's going on for Sagittarius, Spirit with finances? How many cards are you giving me? Just seeing what the other ones were that jumped out. Got a Queen of Gems, Nine of Gems, and a Knight of Stones. I don't think I need all of them out, but I'll pull them out anyway. Yeah, okay. So, in the current position, currently we have for your finances, we've got the Six of Vases, I think these are Six of Vials, that's what they call it. It's the same as cups. So, with the Six of Cups, so making sure that you are concentrating on what feels good with regards to your finances, whether that is you enjoying working hard, whether that is spending money and energy on doing a certain thing, whether it's spending on people if that makes you feel good, whether it is spending on, I don't know, maybe you go to dance lessons or you go to the gym and you like to feel good because of the endorphins from all the gym, whatever it is for you, making sure that you are spending well. Now, it does also suggest that at times you may forget to give to charities or you may not feel like you've got enough spare for any kind of donation. So, I don't know. In November in the UK, we have Remembrance Day and they go around selling poppies and they're pretty cheap for a little paper poppy. It could just be like things like that. You might not feel like you've got time or you might forget to give to good causes, even if it's something where you believe in it, because you're too busy with everything else. So let's get some clarity on this Six of Vials. I feel like a lot of it is more about, making sure that you're feeling good and that you're spending money on yourself when you need to. Possibly indulging a good chunk on yourself. Okay, now. So we have the Temperance to clarify. So you do look at the needs of others. So it could very well be that you spend money on other people. Maybe that makes you feel good. And I can understand why that could be a bit of a challenge if you're looking at other people's needs and you're spending on them, because obviously sometimes they then start to rely on you too much. You become a source of income to them. And let's face it, sometimes you just can't spend it, or you can end up overspending because you're spending on other people's needs. Well, this does tell me you are working very, very hard. We've got a world card here, and that is very hard work that you do. You're very productive. Um, you do like to earn, you like to save, and you like to invest. And you do make sure that you're doing everything you possibly can in order to do that. So you are very, very productive, and you don't like to be rushed into a decision, which can also be very tricky with regards to looking at what other people's needs are and, you know, spending with regards to those. But you do like to make sure that you're getting a good deal. You like to make sure that you are considering all decisions, um, or all options when you're making your decisions. You don't like to feel rushed into it. You like to know, what's going on, the ins and outs of anything. So especially where investments come in, you like to make sure that you're doing the right thing and you've got all the information available. Now, in your challenge position, we've got that world again. So making sure that you work hard and that you are putting your savings, your investments, etc., to work. So not only is it about you working hard yourself, but it's making sure that your money is working hard for you too. One way of doing that is if you've got money sitting in just a general bank account, you can move it into a savings account. That's just a very simple way of doing it because then you earn some interest. You don't always earn interest on current accounts, do you? Um, Obviously, there's lots of other ways you could do, make money out of your money. Obviously investments of whatever. Um, obviously go see an investment advisor. I don't even know what they call them. If you want advice on where to go and put your money, I can't even tell you what's a good savings account. I wouldn't know. I mean, you've got that many different types, and I don't know which banks you're with, or I'm not even going to attempt it because they're always changing. And let's face it, with how things are, interest rates change that quick. That something you might get 5% on today, you're only going to get 2% on tomorrow. Well, the joys of finance and trying to keep your head above water, eh? Right, so in with this challenge, we've got a Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, a Four of Pentacles in the reverse, a Queen of Swords, an Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, and a Moon in the reverse. Interesting. So let's make some sense out of these. You might feel like you don't have much luck when this challenge kicks in, or this obstacle, whatever it is. It's going to feel like you've not got much luck with money, and money might feel quite tight, and it might feel like it's not really coming in, but you're not keeping on track of what you're actually doing with the money. So it could be that you've got a lot of money coming in, but you could just be spending it straight back out and not even keeping an eye on it, not knowing where it's going, just literally straight in, straight out kind of thing, not doing anything to check it over. And that could be very much why you're feeling like money isn't really going anywhere. And obviously, you're not going to be able to save or invest into things if you don't feel like it's going anywhere. You could also be put off from earning because if you're working hard and you don't feel like you're getting anything, what's the point of working? You know? But obviously, it is suggesting that there are reasons behind this. The Queen of Swords is suggesting that you do make sure that you get clarity on any investment opportunities. So make sure that you're not just jumping straight into investing into things. Make sure you've got all the information. I know over here you like to get all the information. So it might suggest that there could be something that comes along that you haven't got all of the information for. So you need to make sure that you get clarity on that. Now, what that could be could have something to do with this Ace of Pentacles because this could potentially be a job opportunity or an investment opportunity, potentially. Now, in the reverse, it is suggesting that it could be missed. And the reason for that could be because you might not have enough clarity on it. And because you like to be very meticulous and get all of the information here, it could be something where you're not given all the information. Now, with it being in the reverse as well, it could be if you do take it without getting all of the information, and it's more likely to be if you take it without getting all the information, you're more likely to have a financial loss. In the upright, it is very much a new investment opportunity that is going to be potentially be a pretty, it might be a good one. In the reverse, it can very much symbolize a loss in that. So do make sure you are getting all the information before investing, because there is some sort of investment opportunity that's going to come along that looks like it's going to be quite high risk, and you could lose some money and it is going to make you feel absolutely stuck. With the moon, it is also suggesting that you feel like you need a lot of money as well, for whatever this is. So I don't know if you are looking at investing quite a lot of money into something and it feels like you don't have much because you end up losing some. I don't know if this is more that you've got a big dream, and it feels like you need a lot of money to make this dream come true. And it could be quite demoralizing if you're not getting the opportunity to do what you need to do with it, um, just because you've not got enough information. Now, it can also be that there are, you could get the same dream by doing something else. Not so much by doing something else, but it could be cheaper than you're expecting it to be. And it could very well be that you just need to look out there, actually investigate it, because it might have been a while since you investigated a particular thing. And because the amount, prices change all over the place, what might have been a couple of £1,000 a couple of years ago might only be a few £100 nowadays. For instance, a game console, they lose value after a while. A particular car, if you're absolutely obsessed with one particular type of car, if it come out a few years ago, you might be able to get it for lower now. Uh, it does suggest that there are other things out there that, whatever it is that you've been aiming to get, you might be able to get it at a bit of a lower cost than what you feel you could have got it at. So yeah, just a little bit more checking what's out there. Now, the advice to help you get through this obstacle, I've got a Knight of Shards in the reverse. So that's a Knight of Wands. So I'm having to try and remember which ones are which, because I've got shards, gems. Oh, what else have we got? Stones and vials in this particular deck. So they're not in that they're not what you think they are. Like stones, which you might go, oh, it's earth, it's pentacles. No, they're the swords. So yeah, tiny bit confusing, some of these ones, but I like them. They're pretty. And if you don't like the Dark Crystal, I'm sorry, I do. It was one of my favorite movies growing up. Love some puppets. Right, anyway, so the Knight of Shards then, so that Knight of Wands, it does suggest that you need to make sure that you are not impulsive, okay? Make sure you take your time, don't be forced into anything. Impulsiveness doesn't serve you well in the long term. So make sure you are taking your time. Don't be rushed into anything. And if anybody tries to push you into something, don't do it. Well, I say don't do it. It's completely your choice on whether or not you want to do it. The advice is that you take your time and consider all of the different opportunities that are coming your way, and, get clarity, know what it is you're getting into, and know all the risks, and then decide whether or not you want to pursue that particular way to go. So I've also got a Two of Swords here. So this Two of Swords is telling me that, again, make sure that you're thinking over your investments. So don't rush into things. Make sure you're thinking them through fully. We do have an Eight of Wands, which is you could have a bit of an increase in income coming into you. This could be something like a bonus. It could be a payout, for instance, if you've got any legal cases going. Um, it could be a lottery win, an inheritance, whatever, it could be a number of different things. But it is suggesting that there is going to be some sort of payout coming towards you. And it does suggest that you need to make sure that if you are investing that into anything, whatever it is you're investing it into, even if it is just buying yourself a holiday, you know, and, investing it into leisure time for yourself, make sure that you're getting the best kind of deal. Make sure you're shopping around. Make sure that you're checking it through thoroughly. I've then got a King of Swords in the reverse, and I've also got a Ten of Swords in the reverse. So the King of Swords in the reverse is suggesting that you could let some of your high standards slip a little bit. So you might be just as happy having things that are slightly less than what you would have expected previously. Um, how do I put it? You might find, so you might be that you want to go to a 5-star hotel for for a holiday, but actually a 4-star hotel you might enjoy just as much as a 5-star hotel, but it might cost you a lot less to go to a 4-star hotel. And that's what I mean by lowering your standards slightly. I don't mean lowering your standards to the point of letting people steal money from you or buying something that is not going to do you any good, you know how you get the fake electricals that then set on fire. I don't mean lowering your standards like that. Obviously, make sure that whatever you do, I don't want you to get yourself into danger from lowering your standards. But yeah, try not to be obsessed over money. Money's not going to make you happy. What you do with the money is what makes you happy. So, not necessarily. I mean, you can be happy without money. Let's face it. I know when I've done readings previously, it's like I've suggested to people. I know for those of you that have got kids, you might want to go on a really great holiday or take them to the biggest theme park in the world, where you've got tons and tons and tons of rides. It's going to cost you an arm and a leg to get there because you feel like it's going to make your kids really happy. They're going to see, characters from movies and things like that. But your kids are probably going to be just as happy going to a beach with you and spending that time with you, doing something with them, like splashing in the water or playing with kites or frisbees or whatever else you can do on a beach, building sandcastles with them. Your kids are going to be just as happy doing that, making memories doing that as they would go into a theme park where it's going to be absolutely jam packed. You're going to be standing in queues for hours waiting to get onto a ride, to the point of if you're only going for a day, you might get on 4 or 5 rides within a day, spend a couple of £100,000, not 100, it's a massive exaggeration, but do you know what I mean? You're going to be spending an absolute fortune to be standing in queues all day, or spend next to nothing going to a local beach for a day, building sandcastles and plus splashing in the sea. Do you get what I mean? Take a picnic, so there's lots of ways of you doing things that will make people happy. Obviously, a lot of this is about you making yourself happy too, and it doesn't necessarily mean about making other people happy. But, whatever makes you happy, there are cheap ways of doing it other than necessarily. I mean, it might be that maybe you like going to a spa and having a spa treatment. You might have a look at investing into home spas or go to a college where they're learning how to do spa treatments and get them to do treatments on you, cheaper ones, that kind of things. You're still getting your spa day or your spa treatment, but at a lower cost. Now, if you manage to take your advice and you look into investments and relook at what makes you happy with where money is concerned, we've got the Hierophant, the Queen of Gems, the Knight of Stones, and the Nine of Shards. A lot of cards as your outcome. So, yeah, let's so the Hierophant then is telling me that you're going to be managing your resources, making sure that they're working for you properly. Yeah, making sure that you're getting the maximum effort and intention out of those resources. That Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Gems. Money's not going to be an issue for you because you're looking at things properly. You don't necessarily need to worry because you've got it under control, basically. Um, money's going to be where it needs to be. You're going to have some spare. You don't necessarily need to worry about anything. If you have an emergency pop up because, God forbid, your pipes have burst, you're going to have the money there to fix it. You haven't got to worry too much. You've got contingency plans on contingency plans and everything else. You know, we've got that you're not going to be jumping into anything. Fantastic. Not necessarily letting other people inform you, try and push you on how you're gonna spend money. And then with this 9 of shards here, it is suggesting that either you're gonna not invest in things or you're gonna make sure that they are very safe investments as well. Yeah, so making sure you look things over fully and not really having anything too much to worry about. Let's get you some cards for clarity on these four. I mean, I don't feel like you need much clarity on those, I'll be honest. What have we got there? Ace of Swords in the reverse, a Three of Wands in the reverse, and a King of Wands in the upright. So, Ace of Swords then. Yeah, success is coming, which is lovely. It does suggest that you need to make sure that you choose what paths you go on wisely. Again, making sure that you are getting the right information with regards to any investments that you're going to be putting in. If you are, it does suggest that you might not be looking at investing into things as well here with this Three of Wands in the reverse, possibly because you took the time and the effort to get clarity on certain things, and some of them you're not going to risk it. And very much sharing your financial knowledge with other people. Your financial knowledge is something that it looks as though it's pretty on par, and it does suggest that you are going to be sharing it, letting other people learn from your experiences. You might even write a blog or, start a little video group or whatever, just kind of sharing your financial wisdom because you've been that successful that other people want to know how to do it. Right. That's the main reading then. Let's get you a Angel of Abundance. So, what have we got? Exercise to increase your energy and manifestation abilities. So, here I'm saying maybe you like to go to the gym as investing into yourself. Could very well be, exercising. So, the key to manifesting quickly is to have very high energy levels, and the easiest way to increase them is through physical exercise. Choose a fun and meaningful activity so you'll look forward to exercising and it becomes its own reward. Okay. I hope you enjoyed your reading today, Sagittarius. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It will help pass the message on to anyone else that needs to hear it. And if you want to hear more from me and you haven't subscribed already, if you press that subscription button and press the notification bell, it will let you know when I do post new content. For those of you that have subscribed already, thank you very much. Your subscription is much appreciated. It does help the channel grow and it helps pass those messages on. So thank you very much for all of your support. Good luck, and thank you very much for joining.